Okay, real talk. You've survived COVID. You've Googled every weird symptom since 2020. You think you know what a scary virus looks like by now. You don't. Because right now, in old barns, forgotten storage units, and maybe even your grandma's basement, there's a killer hiding in the dust. No vaccine, no cure, kills up to half the people it infects, and nobody's talking about it. The 1st of April 2026, a cruise ship leaves Ushuaia, Argentina, the literal bottom of the world, heading toward Antarctica. 150 passengers, 23 countries, one floating party. 5 days in, pure vacation bliss. People socializing, dancing, zero worries. Then a 70-year-old Dutch passenger wakes up feeling off. Fever, headache, some hantavirus symptoms that honestly just look like a bad cold. He sees the ship's doctor. Nothing dramatic, go rest, drink fluids, classic protocol. Except 2 days later, he can't breathe. And on April 11th, he's gone. The other passengers barely flinch. Elderly guy, probably his heart, right? The party continues. Because that's what we do. We assume the best until we absolutely can't anymore. April 24th. The ship docks at St. Helena, this tiny island in the middle of the South Atlantic that most Americans have never heard of. The man's wife disembarks with his body, travels to South Africa, and on April 25th, as she's literally about to board her flight home to Amsterdam, she collapses. She dies the next day. Back on the ship, more people getting sick. A German woman falls ill on April 28th, dead 4 days later. 3 passengers, 3 countries, 3 deaths, 0 answers. It takes until May 2nd, nearly a month after departure, for the World Health Organization to even be notified. Tests are rushed. Results come back. Hantavirus, not some new mystery pathogen, a rodent-borne virus that scientists have known about for 70 years. A deadly mouse virus with no approved vaccine and no proven cure, floating on a luxury cruise ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, we're doing this. So what is hantavirus? Let's break it down fast, because this part actually matters. Hantavirus isn't one virus. It's a whole family of viruses. Think of it like a franchise, same dangerous brand, different locations, different rodents running each spot. Every strain has one thing in common: rodents. Mice, rats, voles. They carry it, they shed it, they don't get sick from it. They're basically asymptomatic hosts living their best rodent lives while carrying something that can kill a human being. Here's the part that really gets me. You don't have to touch a rat. You don't have to be bitten. You just have to breathe the wrong dust, the kind that forms when virus from mouse droppings, urine, or saliva dries out and floats into the air. Open an old cabin, sweep a forgotten basement, disturb a nest in a storage unit, and you've inhaled it. The family causes 2 types of disease. Hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, HFRS, hits mostly in Asia and Europe, attacks the kidneys, internal bleeding. Nasty, but survivable more often than not. And then there's the American nightmare, Hantavirus Pulmonary Syndrome, HPS. This is the one spreading in North and South America. Your lungs fill with fluid. Breathing becomes impossible. And the hantavirus survival rate? Up to 50% of people infected don't make it. No FDA-approved vaccine, no monoclonal antibodies cleared for treatment, no proven antiviral, just doctors doing their best to keep you alive while your immune system fights alone. The CDC hantavirus warning has been consistent for years, and yet most Americans have never heard of it until a ship full of tourists turns into a floating crisis. Here's the wild part. This isn't new. This hantavirus explained moment? It should have happened decades ago. 1950 Korean War. Over 3,000 American soldiers stationed in South Korea start getting mysteriously sick. High fever, vomiting, kidney failure. About 15% of them die. Doctors are stumped. Is it a disease? A biological weapon? Nobody knows. They call it Korean hemorrhagic fever, shrug, and move on. It takes until 1980 for South Korean virologist Dr. Ho Wang Lee to crack the case, identifying that it was a virus carried by rats transmitted through their waste. He named it after the Hantan River in Korea. 70 years ago, and we still don't have a vaccine. But the story that really hits different happened right here in America. May 1950. and 93. 10 members of the Navajo Nation in the Four Corners region, young, healthy people, die within weeks of each other. Flu-like fever. For a long time, scientists had one reassuring fact to hold on to. Hantavirus cannot spread person to person. Unlike COVID, unlike the flu, you could only get it from rodents. It couldn't become a pandemic. It was terrible, but contained. That assumption held until 1996, southern Argentina. An outbreak of the Andes virus, a South American strain of hantavirus, produced something that shocked the scientific world. Confirmed, documented human-to-human transmission. Yes, hantavirus is coming for assumptions we were comfortable with. Now here's what you actually need to know, because context matters. It does not spread through the air like COVID. You can't catch it on the subway or at a concert. It requires extended, close physical contact, sharing a bed, prolonged proximity, contact with bodily fluids, caregiver-level closeness. And the transmission window? Approximately 1 day at the onset of illness. Short, containable, if you know what you're dealing with. This is the same Andes strain behind the 2026 cruise ship outbreak. The Dutch couple who did that bird-watching tour near a rodent-infested landfill? They returned to the ship immediately right inside that transmission window, and the hantavirus outbreak spread in the close quarters of social gatherings on board. As of the 10th of May, 2026, 10 confirmed cases, 3 dead, multiple medical evacuations, patients in ICUs across South Africa, the Netherlands, and Switzerland. The ship drifted off Cape Verde for days, a modern plague ship that no country wanted to let dock, until Spain finally allowed it to anchor in the Canary Islands on May 10th.
All right, enough nightmare fuel, let's talk about what you can actually do. Because pandemic prevention starts with individual awareness. And this part is genuinely simple. IPART. The hidden virus in abandoned buildings is real, but it's avoidable. Step 1. Seal your home. A mouse needs a gap the size of a dime to get inside. Check your foundation, around pipes, under doors. Fill gaps with steel wool or caulk. This is the single most effective thing you can do. Step 2. Eliminate food sources. Sealed containers for everything: pet food, grain, bird seed. No open trash. No free buffet for rodents. Step 3. Before entering any space with potential rodent activity, this is critical. Ventilate first. Open windows. Wait 30 minutes. Then put on an N95 mask, not a cloth mask, not a surgical mask, and gloves. Wet the area with diluted bleach before sweeping. Never dry sweep mouse poop virus zones. Never. Step 4. Know the symptoms. Early hantavirus symptoms look exactly like the flu: fever, fatigue, body aches, headache. If you've been in a space with potential rodent exposure within the past month and those symptoms show up, tell your doctor immediately and mention the exposure. Early intensive care dramatically improves the hantavirus survival rate. The CDC hantavirus warning has been saying this for years. Now you know why it matters. Here's the real talk moment. Hantavirus has been killing people for 70 years, quietly. In barns and basements and abandoned cabins and rural campsites, the silent virus hiding in abandoned buildings, waiting for the wrong person to open the wrong door. The people who died on that cruise ship in 2026 didn't Google dangerous virus in homes before they went birdwatching near a landfill in Argentina. They didn't know. Because this virus, America's most terrifying rare virus, only makes headlines when it's too late. You now know. There's no approved vaccine. There's no proven antiviral. There's no shortcut. Your only real weapons are awareness, prevention, and taking the CDC hantavirus warning seriously. So seal the gaps, wear the N95, ventilate before you clean. And if you're heading into an old cabin, a forgotten storage unit, or anywhere that's been sitting untouched for months, please remember, you can catch this deadly virus from mouse droppings. It doesn't care how young you are. It doesn't care how healthy you are. It just needs one breath. Don't give it the chance. Okay, you just learned more about hantavirus in 10 minutes than most people learn in a lifetime. And honestly, that brain upgrade deserves a reward. So here's the deal. Smash that like button not for the algorithm, but because somewhere out there, a deer mouse is furious that you just learned all its secrets. Share this video with that one friend who cleans out old storage units with zero protection and zero regrets. You might literally save their life. And subscribe, because we cover the kind of stuff that doesn't trend until it absolutely should have been trending years ago. Real threats, real science, no fluff. Stay curious, stay protected, and for the love of everything, wear the mask when you're cleaning the garage. So, while mice can fit through a hole the size of a dime, luckily, this subscribe button is way bigger and 100% virus-free. Seriously, clicking it is the only thing ExplainProfessor wants you to catch today. Spread the knowledge, not the fever, and I'll see you in the next one.